team.
I mean,
I love the underdog.
I don't even know at the end of the day, but it is going to be a spectacle to say the least. But Sato does open it up, and he does what a veteran player does every time. He lets the ball go in, and he just drives away.
It's just so simple.
Explosions.
You're talking about a spectacle. That's spectacular from Sato. As simple as that actually looked. Getting a goal like that off kickoff, we saw it them struggle themselves with that with Eros. Eros seemed to get a few kickoff goals against Bladesmiths themselves, and then they got a taste of their own medicine with Venom. And part of that was the reason that they got taken down in that best of 5 scrap between them. It may be a similar kind of series. I'm expecting them to get quite a bit more physical, actually, to be honest, but it started out back and forth as you like. Spartax with that amazing shooting record comes to the fore once again. Kairu does well to get it past the first, but then it just slightly gets away from him, and Sato's driving forward instead of back. Off the post and in. Tie game, less than 30 seconds in.
It's going to be a slogfest no matter what. Both teams are vying for control early on here, but neither of them really be able to stabilise. Going to be a show for the ages. Just to preface, this is the furthest Venom's ever got, and the last time Bladesmiths got here, they kind of, fell short. Going to be a story, I'd say, least.
Oh, Sato!
Oh, Sato!
Oh, no! He wants it, though.
Man's got crackers because he's missed that completely wide, but you can see the confidence from this side of Bladesmiths, willing to push the boundaries on every mechanical opportunity, and what I like about them is that they only use mechanics when they have the opportunity to do so. They don't throw balls away by just using mechanics for the sake of it. But Minty does get a brilliant dunk onto Duck. He's going to chase the ball all the way down the field. Gets the demo onto Sato as well.
Oh, no!
No! He went to the break and installed the Alanis to expand.
Oh, no. He scored off that post. He's just scored off of that post, for goodness sake. I would have put money on that going in. But sometimes the simplest of shots, of strikes, of finishes can be your undoing, your downfall. And that is the case here for Spartax. A golden opportunity to take a lead early in this first game. First one is crucial in a best of 7. Sets the precedent for your ability to play in a series such as this. Of course, we have seen that confidence from Sato. Now a bit from Kairu off the ceiling. He has to time this perfectly. He doesn't, but the defender misses. Thankfully for Venom, Spartax was there to cover. Gets into that midfield, cuts it away from the second man. Duck with a bit of a fake out here. Gets past one, but Minty's left in an awkward position. Stops the second shot. Can he stop the third? Doesn't need to. His teammate comes flying in to save him. And again, it's just such back and forth. There's very little time spent on offense, sustained for both sides, but when they do, they get multiple shots away at a time, and it makes for such exciting gameplay.
It really does. It's palpitating. The blood is flowing in this game, in the cast of this, and I'm sure it's playing at home as well. It is absolutely mental. Spartax with the pressure. Early shot just to the backboard, unfortunately. Kairu did have the read, but Minty following in is going to make it a little bit more awkward for the side of Bladesmiths to break out of defense. Minty plays it high, gets bumped without having a second effort. Bumps happening back and forth here, but Minty working well to try and break out of that corner. Sato's having to do a bit of work here. A demo by Kairu onto Minty is going to slow this attack down. Opportunity for a counter-attack here for the side of Bladesmiths. Oh, whiff from Minty! Oh, just taken away from the line by Sparta last second, but at the end of the day, it's going to be slotted in by Duck with a rather, anti-climatic finish.
Yeah, I think the server might have had a little bit of a hitch there, as everybody had the flashing triangle signs, the warning signs next to their pings, and Minty, pretty sure if he was completely connected there, it wouldn't have been such a strange whiff. But as you said, he'd taken Fort Bladesmiths. They'll be happy about it, of course, but you hate to see connection issues being the reason for anyone to score or concede, as this one stopped on the line by Duck to keep that fragile lead intact. But it's still back to the midfield. Hold the line, gets beaten out by Sato, still in the blue half of the field. Duck panics, expecting a quicker challenge. It wasn't quite there, but still kept on the midfield line. Spartax to pick it up. He had a Brazil in striking a moment ago. 7 shots to 1 goal. Now he makes it 8. He'll be unhappy with the fact that he's not managing to get through much more often, much more effectively and efficiently than he may be used to. More shots generally means more goals. Maybe looking for an assist here to the backboard. Hold the line and Minty both lining up to try and take a shot. But neither goes anywhere near the net. Kairu gets this launch straight at him, launches it straight back. Spartax with nothing, but a dip down to Minty off the backboard. No one is there. There's very little pressure out of defense from Bladesmiths, and hold the line, wasting a lot of time to get this back. He doesn't quite have the boost to work with it through the mid, and Satow's happy to take it off him. But all that Bladesmiths need to do is waste time.
Yeah, and they've got it all in the blocker to do so. Just shake up into the air for a bit. Hold it, float with it. So what you got to do with a demo like that onto Minty is definitely a time killer.
Oh, Kairu!
Oh my, what a save! Coming out from Spartax! This air is just full of audacity. I think is the only way I can frame it. Kairu with a nice flip reset, plays it over one. Can't go again, unfortunately, as the line's way too fast to the ball. Hold line plays towards the back ball, looking for Sato. Looking for a teammate, but Sato gets there even.
Spartax.
Shot! It's on! And Minty slots it in with 5 seconds left. They've tied it up!
And how important did that save become? You might have thought, oh, it's goal, it's done. There's no way Spartax is going to put that to the crossbar and back out, but it's made such a massive difference. Every single one matters, every single shot you stop matters, and they managed to bring it back to a 2-2. A similar storyline you feel between Venom and Bladesmiths as it was between Eros and Venom. 2-2 in the first game, could be an overtime, could have almost not been an overtime if Spartax had caught that a little bit better, but it will be in game 1 of this potentially first best of 7 in the Elite Grand Final. Started out with some decent looking finishes, some decent looks for both sides. Spartax has had 10 shots. If he finished even a quarter of those, this would have been a ridiculous win in game 1 for Venom, but it just hasn't gone that way for them.
It's a difficult situation indeed. Spartax's shot gets blocked out in the midfield, straight into the path of Kairu, who doesn't get the best of touches, but a bit of a double commit happening in that corner. By 2 of the Venom players is going to slow the attack down momentarily. Sato doing his best, a nice fake under 2. Spartax is going to be there to meet him. Kairu with a bit of an awkward touch does beat the aerial ball. Looking to go again, and he does so. Finds the shot, looking for the shot, but back
And the counter, Spartax!
On the other midfield, and Venom, they go 1-0 up in the series!
A save across the field, the next touch is a shot, and it will be Spartax to find its brace. It took 11 up, but it really does not matter. Sato in the team chat there saying the line is insane. I could not agree more, mate. What a stop, what a save, the adjustment to get like away and back from the initial shot, which easily could have gone straight past him, but he had the wherewithal to stay in the right place to be ready for the next shot. Goal line save, a super save you could call it, straight back up the field.
All-round performance of all these players with Venom, they'll be really chuffed, and they have to keep it up though. Bladesmiths, they will not slouch down now. They will come back with a vengeance.
Venom with the second best defense in league play, only 133 goals conceded, pipped by Eros at 114, Bladesmiths 144. But this one, going through the mid, from Sato to Duck, it wasn't quite a kickoff goal, but it was a great finish in the bottom right corner, and again they opened the scoring extremely early. They held on to this lead for quite a while. In fact, they got 2 goals, and it was Venom that had to make that comeback. They did it to get an overtime, and again, the overtime, oh my goodness, I was talking about what was happening in the last game, and Spartax is getting flip resets, almost getting it past the defense, but I just adore the confidence. I adore the not the ability necessarily to finish them off, but just the audacity to even go for it. And they finally do get one through. It's very similar to first game. Immediate response from Venom, and it comes in the form of Spartax once again.
A really good job coming out from Spartax. Another finishing, really showing his finishing prowess. And he was a bit quieter in the series against Eros, but he wasn't needed at the end of it, and he's really showing up here. Keep it up, I don't know. But still, what a showing nonetheless. One apiece here, still 4 minutes on the clock, plenty of time for a lot more action. Sato has changed his car up one more time, still on the Octane, but he's changed the car design. Maybe it's just a placebo effect, we'll have to see. But there's definitely struggling now as the side of Venom really starting to build up. And then the great clearance though, Kairu gets a lovely touch. Can't find the finish, unfortunately Spartax is there, but it eventually does and puts the side of Bladesmiths back into the lead.
Just needs to be a better clearance. It was a great play by Duck to get it to the mid, and I thought Kairu kind of threw away possession there, putting it to the backboard, but Spartax did even worse. You could see him not even moving his car, just sliding along on the side of his chassis because he knows he should have got a better touch there. Could not get back to it. Kairu's leaving this one for Sato. Good decision. Going to try and get it to the backboard off the kickoff again. Spartax looking for that midfield pass. Does get it. That's going to waterfall down. If Duck can't read it, Minty's going to be there, but he somehow gets back to it off the backboard. That should have gone in by all accounts. I do not know how Duck keeps doing this.
He's a madman. He somehow is keeping all of these shots
He's
out.
playing in the future.
I don't even know. They call him some sort of looper effect.
And he's scoring.
Already now, the counter-attack play coming back off a ridiculous save. Exactly what he needed. Minty not with the best of touches, and Kairu again with a fantastic slip the pass into the center. Last player of defense being Spartax for the side of Venom, really unable to get to the ball in the nick of time. 3-1 now for the side of Bladesmiths. Can they hold out Venom for the remaining amount of time? We'll have to see whether we're going to see some more goals. I think it's pretty undeniable at this stage with the way these two teams are playing. Old line plays it forward. Minty, you can see being a bit of a disruptor in the back line, looking to be at best be much of a nuisance as possible, but a booming clearance going to come in, and you can see Kairu almost furthest up. He was being trailed for the demo. A great attempt coming on Sato, but Minty was there to keep it away. Duck now in his own corner decides to leave the booster. Plays it around one, looking to go again. Can't, unfortunately. Deline's going to be there up first. Sato gets a bit of an awkward touch. Kairu's going to have to pick up the pieces once again. Plays it to the wall. Can't find the second touch. Thus leaving it for Spartax to go forward once again as well. Nice touch from him, turning out to teammate mainly.
And a big demo.
Get the job, but Sato gets the save. A bit of a whiff happening. Duck has to force the 50-50. Mistakes looming on for both of these teams. Neither of them really being too effective, but at the end of the day, that one was as the side of Venom brings one back, make it to a 3-2.
Speak of a mistake, and it apparently shall come. Sato expecting that one to go further forward. He thought all the pace was coming with the shot, and he was just going to have to redirect it to the corner, but he drops it down perfectly for Spartax to secure his brace and bring Venom back into this game. Just a one goal, just past the midway mark. And we see Venom doing it again, making that comeback, keeping themselves in it, keeping themselves in the back of Bladesmiths' mind. He's about to talk about Duck being a potential contender for U-Hop with the Oracle title. Some of the plays that he's been able to make. It could be Spartax to make the amazing one here, though not quite. The pace to get back to that ball, and is forced to leave Minty in the back line. Not the greatest touch. Allows Sato to take a quick strike, but it's easily stopped. Straight down the middle. Duck to keep it alive, but cannot keep it close. Does get back to this eventually, but it's easily dropped down for Minty to take his time. Looking for the fake. Always dangerous on defense, and it could lead to a bad decision made here, but Spartax does just about recover after that bump and pushes back up the field. I don't know if they knew he was low on boost, but Kairu didn't care. He's got the possession, got the momentum going forward. It's going to drop to Sato, puts it high once again. I think something you were talking about with Bladesmiths being denied with these passing plays, with these infield touches. They're wanting to control the ball so much more and play the long game at times, it seems, but Venom are just really good at cutting out those opportunities, getting in the way. As I speak of it, it's going to drop and hit the line, but oh my goodness, Spartax with the ice-cold veins gets under it, backflips, and keeps this one close once again. What a save!
What a save coming out! You said the ice definitely in the veins of this young sir, as he's able to keep the team still hunting for another goal. Duck now off the side. We're under a minute left for Venom to see if they can clutch up any further. Apart from getting saves, they've got to score. We are at a deficit. However, they've left the goal open. Spartax a bit of aerial play. Sato gets back in the nick of time. You can really see Venom starting to heat up a little bit. Sato does miss the touch there. Karu's going to be there to follow it up. He takes it to the air and just kills so much time with that aerial play. But Spartax with the cut is going to keep the ball going forward for the side of Venom. The side Bladesmiths really wanting to end it here, and now they don't want another overtime.
Oh, hold the line. The shot! Oh my goodness!
I'm done with this.
What a redirect! Off the crossbar and in. You could not place that better. There wasn't even a defender there. They were just like, as soon as that shot was taken, I'm not stopping that. There's no saving it. It could be overtime. It could not be. Again, Minty puts it high. It's still up. Hold the line. Could do it again. Be the hero. Jumping down for the double tap, and it's in! It's 4-3 to Venom. They've made the comeback once again. What a finish! Oh my!
What was that? Delina! Who just said, get on my backpack, I'm gonna carry it!
Where did that come from?
I don't know! He had pretty much back-to-back touches where he scored clutch goals, and they were ridiculous. Back, sealing down to ground pinch. I don't know what to say anymore.
When a defender gets angry, that's what happens.
But at the end of the day, after having the lead up until the final 10 seconds, and then having it pulled away from you, the carpet away from you from underneath you, it's a very difficult thing to bounce back from. There's so much time, I'm even mincing my words.
It's indescribable at times. It's almost impossible to orate exactly what is happening. Another great save from Spartax that could come to be the difference in this third game. The potential match point, but again, Kairu denied by Hold the Line. Even with the amazing air dribbles, it's not quite enough. They need to do more. What more? They must be asking themselves, what more must we do? Because Venom seemed to be everywhere at once. This one won again by Spartax. Minty with a great disruption. Duck passes this back to Satao in a 1-2, but not enough boost to continue the play. Spartax over another, looking for the ground pinch. He's gonna get it, and Venom is starting to wake up. They are looking unbeatable right now.
I can't believe it, but they really are. They weren't even meant to be here. This is a play-in team, remember everybody. They came through play-ins, and they found themselves in the position to keep on going forwards. The 2 games up with this best of 7, the first best of 7, may I add. The Bladesmiths are yet to find any sort of answer to it. It's going to be a long run otherwise. It is a tough call to make. The Bladesmiths side, they've got to start knuckling down. They've got to really got their heads back on their shoulders, unlike us in the casting booth. Otherwise, they really are going to be down and out before they can blink. It's going to be over. The way that Venom's playing, a lovely, great pass off the backboard it is, and Minty's going to be there. This side of Venom. I mean, are we going to be in for another bracket reset? Are we going to be on for the 3rd bracket reset?
It's going that way. Sauce was talking about it. Everyone that he's been the broadcaster for, it's gone to a bracket reset in the playoffs. So whether you call it a blessing or a curse, doesn't really matter. What matters is the fact that Venom are playing with, a vengeance, of course, because they got in such a difficult situation last season with the way that they were playing. Of course, they came from the lower bracket. They didn't have to go through the play-ins. It's a different system this season, as it was to the last. Satao does get one back, but this is a grudge match for Venom. They got knocked down and out by this Bladesmiths side in the lower bracket, and now they've come back to prove to them why they deserve to be the ones to go forward, to go further. And in the grand final, it's the best place to do it, the best situation they could have hoped for, they could have dreamt of. And to be honest, I don't see Venom as a play-in team. The only reason they were in the play-ins in the first place was because they lost by 1 game. The only thing was 1 game difference between them and Luna IO on the Ignis side of the Elite Conference. The Elite tier, in fact, and because they lost their last game in the last week of league play, so they could have very easily been in the upper bracket. They could have made this easier for themselves, but they've made this lower bracket run and they're looking so damn dangerous. And I just can't wait to see what happens if it is a bracket reset. Will Bladesmiths completely switch things up? We saw it with Blizzard last night, where they brought in Kairu. Was it Skies or I think it was Skies that Cubby or Hoggy said. They brought him in as an outside perspective, someone to actually help them and reset their mental. But Bladesmiths might not need it. They have brought it back to 1, and they are on the comeback trail. We saw this in the upper round 1. They've managed to do a reverse sweep. Could they do it here?
I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't be a reverse sweep, but could they still get back to a Game 7?
I think so. They've started to really clean up their act in terms of not, mitigating the amount of space they're giving Venom, and and subsequently not removing opportunities that Venom may have to find themselves in. And with that, yes, it's removed kind of the flashy opportunities that they may have, but at the end of the day, it's what is needed. But Spartax fires one straight back from the midfield, slotting it in. With their change of playstyle has obviously become evidential mistakes here. And 4-2 for Venom is looking mightily scary right now for Bladesmiths, as they just don't seem to be able to, can't seem to string together any sort of play, which is troubling for the Venom squad.
And just to correct myself earlier, of course, Venom have taken 2 games in this series, this being the 3rd game, I believe it is, would put them on match point, if I was looking at the bracket correctly, but by the looks of things, it's going to go to match point. There's no way that the Bladesmiths seem like they're going to be able to bring this back. The pressure that Venom are exerting, the amount of shots they managed to put through. Spartax with 7 again. He's on a hat-trick. He's got another hat-trick. His sheer pace is unbelievable. And Sato already called it like a 3-1 for a forfeit for Bladesmiths. I know he's just messing around, he's having fun. But at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the option was there that they take it, just throw this game away. But there's still plenty of time, and it's only 3 goals. We've seen Bladesmiths make comebacks before, and I believe in them to at least have the mental fortitude to try and do that. I don't see them as a team that gives up very easily.
I completely agree. But momentum, when and truly settled in the Venom's half, and I think the first step is, how do we stop that momentum? How do we stop them from being so in tune with each other? Because right now, it doesn't matter what you throw at this side, they will always have an answer. There's got to be some sort of... Kairu almost doing something ridiculous, which could have been it. But at the end of the day, not going to transpire. The rotation for the side of Venom, way too clean and way too calculated, stopping anything that Bladesmiths tries to produce. Kairu now off the backboards, trying to air it all the way down. Is he going to be able to complete it? No, he isn't. The team pinch comes out between Spartax and Minty, sending right back down to the blue backboard, and Duck with only 1 boost to work with, not anything to really transfer. And Minty is going to slot the 6th goal in on the counter attack. Venom definitely is starting to course through the veins of Bladesmiths, as they are starting to wrinkle down into a mere shadow of what they were in that upper final.
I was just thinking the best outcome from a double commit, which Venom had, was a big team pinch up the field, exactly what they needed, and it led to relatively simple finish there for Minty to get his hat trick. I think the front post defender assumed Spartax was going to get back to the ball and sort of had a mini fake there. I think this is the biggest deficit we've seen all night, the most convincing win of any game that we've seen, at least from my knowledge. And it's showing that Venom is in their stride. They're in the zone, in their comfort zone, and they know exactly what they need to do. This is the team that was predicted to be the champion. This was the team at the start of the season that people were expecting to do the best, and this is exactly what they've come to do. They're coming to play this game, and it could end up being a Barcelona, with it being 7-2. Another 10 shots from Spartax. This man is ridiculous.
Spartax is insane. He is really awoken here. He has 10 shots, 4 goals to his name. It is over. Venom, they're going to go on to match point here. They've still got a whole nother best of 7 series to win to be claimed champions. But Bladesmiths right now, I mean, I don't know what else to say. They've got to go back to the furnace and reheat some fresh knives, because there were some cracks in the previous ones whilst they were smelting. This Venom squad, absolutely lethal. I'm sure Archeon at that LAN is just going to be sat grinning from ear to ear with the way that these guys are playing. I'm sure he is. It's absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, Vector, you've been playing Rocket League for many years. You're in the tier above this tier. I have to...
The Discord, as I saw it, was Sato was saying, just play it for fun. Maybe that's not the right mentality right now. Maybe, you know, buckle down and play serious and get disruptive. We see it here, Kairu, a nice demo, but the timing was a little bit off, and that's something they need to work on as well. Making the right decision at the right time. It's not just about doing it. It has to be coordinated with your teammates. But it's such a struggle with a Venom playing like this, and I don't envy them being on the field right now in the situation they're in.
I completely agree. Spartak's lovely read off the bounce off the backboard. Sato trying to set something up with his teammates. Does with the touch with the counter attack now deadly here. We spoke about it, and it's going to go in. And I think Spartak's actually pre-flipped that touch, if I am not mistaken. He did. And he somehow slips it in, and you know, you talked about the counter-attack. Right now, Venom are just leeching off of the side of Bladesmiths, drawing blood with every sort of breath and every turn. Really, Bladesmiths have no band-aids to actually cover the C-pitch coming out from them. The Spartax has been leading the charge. A whiff is going to be absolutely catastrophic. Fortunately, for the side of Bladesmiths, did get back. He's going to push up, looking for a touch of his own hold line. He's going to get there once again. Puts it down for Spartax. The Spartax is going to slot it in. He scored 2 goals again. They've already got 4 shots on the board, Spartax, and he is not slowing down.
And this is the trouble. How much space he gets here. Kairu, he's got plenty of boost on the backboard, but he's the last man. He has to wait. He knows he's got 2 Venom players barreling down on him. He has to be patient there. He can't just dive it and hope that he makes the right decision. But they have to stop giving Spartax that space. 4 shots in less than a minute is ridiculous. He can't be getting that much opportunity. He can't be getting that many good looks. Because look how many times it's like a 2v1 or a 3v1 on the counter for Venom, as much as Bladesmiths starting to feel desperate and that they need to get more aggressive and push Venom into their own half. It needs to be coordinated, it needs to be deliberate. Hold the line with a big backflip here does let Bladesmiths off, but it's just a throw to Sato, and they're not quite ready for the play. They're not ready to play on offense. They spent very little time on it. You've got to say it in this series, so maybe they're a little unused to it. But the midfield is where most of the problems start to arise for any team that's struggling to keep shots out. They've got to start controlling it, and this could be the way to do it. But Venom making mistakes of their own, allowing Bladesmiths to get back into this. And that's good pressure. Kairu right there, diving on Spartax. Don't let him have time to breathe, to think, to move. Jump on him. But low boost or not, it's just about positional pressure. Get in their face, make them make errors, and you will find shooting opportunities if they did that.
I completely agree, and I think actually an element to the side of Bladesmiths gameplay, which they seem to have forgotten, it is their element of just being up in their opponent's face and just getting, and being really annoying to play against. And right now, I think they need to start implementing that. As soon as they start doing so, they're just going to be so difficult for the side of Venom to break out of their playstyle they're having right now. Almost of all 2 found. I think it was officially made, so it wasn't broken, but still would have been interesting to see a 2-on-2. But still, talking about 2 goals for the side of Venom, only 1 for the side of Bladesmiths. So Bladesmiths having to play catch up once again. Sato finds the pinch, but Delon's going to be up. Nice and easy, does with the ball for Kairu to play off the backboard. Sato is there again, but blocked out by the side of Venom at the last stake. And Duck now off the sidewall, looking for a teammate, can't find anything. Kairu is going to be there once again. Sato over back to Duck. Duck with the shot. Duck playing a little bit wider. Can't finish it off. Can Spartax get back in time? Yes, he can. And the rotations for Venom so clinical right now. They're just not letting any sort of breakaway happen whatsoever.
Yeah, it's very solid, and they're making so few mistakes for Bladesmiths to capitalize on. And as I said, if they don't start to force Venom to make some, deliberately by their own hand, then they're going to continue to struggle, because Venom are just in such a rhythm, such a momentum now, and it's been led so much by Spartax. Make that his 5th shot and his 3rd goal in, I think, 3 consecutive games. Unbelievable performance from this man. He's nuts. He's mental. He's absolutely brilliant, and he's such a talisman for Venom. We see it often where we saw it last night, in fact, with Blizzard, and all the expectation that was on Axlos's shoulders, the goal-scoring ability that he had. as brilliant as he was, you cannot rely on one person to do all the work. But right now, that is Spartax. Hold the Line does have 2 assists, and we've seen him make many of those playmaking show reels, should we say. He's made so many of them at this point. He deserves his own montage that it allows Spartax to be that finisher, that goal scorer. And he's happy to do it, you know, when he's on form. And this is the exact time that he needed to hit it. And he's doing that in such a fashion. 2 out of 4 of these playoffs grand finals now have had bracket resets. And it's because the team coming from above, it feels like they've been too complacent. They've been too safe. They've been expecting the fact that they've got that second life, that second best of 7, that they can just take it easy. They can take it slow and not expect the other team to put up much of a fight. But they are completely wrong about Venom. They are one of the best teams I've seen in Elite, and arguably right now the very best.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with everything you say. I think I just have to say that, as I keep on saying, I completely agree over and over again. What a showing from Venom. They cannot stop scoring, they cannot stop winning, and the man who's screaming right now is the man who leading the charge. He does whip that shot a bit wide as Duck finds the clearance eventually. Sato already up in the field, but Spartax rotated back to get it away. He goes again to the air, but challenged early by Kairu. The line now up, going for his attempt over 1 towards the backboard, trying to pancake it just to kill time. But with that, we have ourselves another bracket reset.
Make that 4. Spartax is a man on fire right now. He is unstoppable. Not every, well, 3 of his 4 goals have been assisted, to be fair, but he has to be there to finish them. He has to have that ability and that clinical nature to get them. As Sato calls GG's early, he knows it's over. He's probably going to try and stop this. Well, Kairu actually stops the one from Duck, trying to make it 5-1. And still keeping it up. They want to score even more. And this is just about, you know, damage limitation, it feels like, from Bladesmiths. Of course, they have another best of 7, a complete reset in terms of games. And they can rethink things. They've used that second life now. And I really think they need to take this time and take a break out. And they didn't even use one of their timeouts in this series. And you might have thought they would after like the second or the third game. So it's surprising if they find themselves in a similar situation the next one, they have to use it. They have to take the play. They haven't seen each other since the lower semi in last season's playoffs. And now they're here, Venom, back with a vengeance. They proved it in the first series. They're going to have to do it once more in another best of 7. And it's starting out here with a lot more aggression from Bladesmiths. And that's what I've seen around in Twitch chat, in league discussion. How do you shut down Venom? You give them no time. Dive, dive, dive. Hunt them down until they are petrified, terrified, until you are in their nightmares. And that is when you can beat them. And Duck starting out here with a great opener.
100%, a really good job from Duck. It's exactly what this Bladesmiths side need to go up early here. Look at
they've done it again.
The second, and right now catching the side of Venom completely off guard. They have to keep it up though. A lot of time left to Rocket League 2 play, but they've come out swinging here to prove a point. They were not happy with that previous best of 7. That's not back a wild animal into a corner because he'll get the haunt of the bull. Right now, it's exactly what we're seeing. Whether Venom will be able to answer back, we'll have to see. Yet really didn't see anything of them in this first opening couple of seconds. So Lion though going to put a nice early shot on. Duck is going to be there to meet it, but Kairu already diving on to the opponent's ball. Going to mitigate any sort of opportunity to go forward, but Deline got a lot of space here, plays it around Kairu, looks for Spartax, and Spartax fires the shot in, and again, it is Spartax leading the charge with Deline in his pocket. And they've got one back immediately, so it is just unbelievable.
It's just, again and again, I seem to be seeing the same exact play. Hold the line, passes across to Spartax. Spartax shoots and he scores. What? I mean, it's like clockwork at this point. It's supposed to happen. It is destiny for them, and I thought it might be for Bladesmiths when they won that reverse sweep in the very first round. They got through the upper final in such a clean fashion against Eros, but now it's up to Venom. They're the ones that are being blessed. They're the ones that are being looked down upon Angels on their shoulders. And they're managing to fight back here. As you said, Bladesmiths, they started strong, but they have to sustain that for such a long period of time. For the entire game, really, to be honest. Because Hold the Line comes out of absolutely nowhere, and he pulls out the double taps on you. It was a bounce, but who cares? They've got the equalizer once again, and he does it like he constantly does it. He's barely brought out any mechanics in the playoffs themselves until this grand final, and it's like it was just a trick up his sleeve that he was waiting to use to completely bamboozle Bladesmiths. And once again, a tie game in such a quick fashion. You can never count Venom out. They are always there. They're always waiting for the chance.
Omnipresent, 100%. It seems to be all that they're able to do is refuse to die. Spartax working with Deline again. Deline does find that winning challenge towards the blue corner. Duck gets the initial touch, going up himself. Can he stay with the ball? No, he can't. But lands inside the goal himself. Spartax takes it around one, beats the second as well. Deline's going to go flying down this flank to try and produce something. Deline gets the pass over to Minty. Minty with a potential finish, but Kairu comes back for the save. And right now, I have to say to you, Vector, Kairu, he really hasn't been his formidable self of what we've seen early on this evening. I think if he steps it up, we could well see a Bladesmiths roster, which is potentially beautiful. And as I taught, the Oracle pits again, and he finds an audacious finish.
You've got to stop, Hop. You're going to get accused for match fixing at this point. But that was stupendous. What a finish, Kairu. He had to get back to the other side of the ball to get the angle necessary for that finish. And as much as we've been talking about Venom's mechanics, Hold the Lines especially, Spartax with just a pure striking ability. Kairu does it again to send it over Hold the Line, regain that 2-goal lead, and this is what you love to see. People just coming alive, being so confident and so sure in their ability to make these plays, make these touches, finish them off, and that's the kind of Rocket League you love to see. You absolutely adore it. And I love to cast it. I love to be here to describe it for everyone watching, because it's the best Rocket League you can get when people start to get so comfortable with themselves that it's almost like they're not playing a game. They're just doing something that feels right. It's like a second skin. It's unbelievable what these players can do at times.
But Bladesmiths definitely starting the second best of 7 the way that they wanted to have start the first. Up 4-2 here, but the last time this scoreline happened, we saw the side of Venom come back with 2 astounding goals coming out from Deline, so you really cannot count them out right up until that final whistle goes and the ball hits the deck. Right now, it's looking like Minty can maybe get back to this ball in time. Saturn's getting chased by Deline, able to just have just enough boost to keep away from him. If that demo came in, it would have been a goal. 4-2 still, 1:20 on the clock left. The side of Bladesmiths adopting the dive mechanic where they just send themselves at their opponents is really starting to work out here. The side of Venom really struggling to formulate any sort of structure or sustained structure, shall I say, like they did have in that first best of 7. A great showing from Bladesmiths, but they've got a minute to hold off. Can they do it?
We touched on it in the first series, where they needed to become a nuisance. They needed to become a thorn in the side of Venom. Get under their skin, get into the back of their heads, make them assume that you're going to be there for every single play. A great strike from the back line there, but thankfully Sato was on the right line to keep it away and still has possession here as well, looking for the fake maybe, but Spartax outreads him, and it's all potentially a 3v1 opportunity, but Kairu does phenomenally well to keep this up and away. Not quite enough boost to follow it out of his own corner, but he did enough to keep Venom out. And this one could be going through. Minty does get a shot away. And it's once again a 1-goal lead. We've seen this before. The story is the same. Venom get a mighty late chance to equalize, and they could be doing it again.
This is scary. I can't quite believe what is happening again. If Venom come back and take this game away from Bladesmiths, I know it might be early to call, but it would be absolutely devastating in terms of the mentality for Bladesmiths. 10 seconds and counting. The ball is in the right half of Bladesmiths. Can they hold on to it? Douglas has put the fifth one in, and he does so.
That's got to be it.
And this time, Bladesmiths do not falter. They can remain and keep their knives sharp, and they slice into this the second best of 7, even with the first win on the ball, 5-3. I hope I haven't spoken too soon.
There's no way. There's no way they get 2 kickoff goals. It cannot happen. I won't allow it.
Yeah,
no, they're not going to do it. 5 seconds left. They might even make it 6. Okay. I mean, there's so many reasons why this first game win is important. One, it makes sure they aren't completely shut out, that they aren't getting 8-0. They didn't manage to take a game in the first, despite the fact that I think there were a couple overtimes in that first series that they could have potentially taken, and they didn't manage to do it. The coin flips didn't land their way. But taking this first game is a statement not only to Venom, but to themselves, to prove to themselves they can win again, they can keep winning, they can beat Venom. They did it last season, and they're doing it once again now in this first game, and they've come alive. The best Rocket League, I said it before, is when every single player starts to pop off. All of them above 200 points, all of them contributing in some manner, but especially Kairu and Duck, both of them with a hat-trick, taking the leaf out of Spartax and hold the lines books there, and just being so amazingly...
Venom, on the other hand, they're hunting it. A level playing field after that bracket reset, but now down by 1. And I think it's really going to be important who scores first in this second game. As the trend really does seem to dictate whoever gets on the board first really can hold things off. And it looks like it's going to be the opening scorer once again.
Pretty sure I've seen this tape before. Although this time Venom got in each other's ways. Minty and Hold the Line kind of landing on each other, being a nuisance to themselves rather than Bladesmiths to them. This is a crucial struggle for Bladesmiths. We saw it from Exelon as well in Prospect. Alta did end up, was it Alta? I believe it was in Prospect that ended up taking a game in the, I think it was the second best of 7 or the first. It was one of the 2. But if they can continue this trend, as you said, it is about sustainability. That's what the best of the best do. They keep it going time and time again. Oh my goodness! What? Duck! Who are you? What are you doing? He is everywhere on the goal line. He's on... Where? What do you do against that hop? He was already on the line in the exact position he needed to be, like he knew that shot was coming 5 minutes ago. That's ridiculous. What do you do? What do you do if you're Venom, especially? The amount of shots they've had to put on target to even, you know, obviously they scored a ton of goals in the last series, but when Duck is popping off like that, not just on offense, but on defense as well, nigh unstoppable. And fatigue is especially starts to become a huge factor here. In a grand final such as this, mostly for Venom, because of the fact they've been playing so long. Of course, the play-ins were midweek, but they've had to play so many more games of Rocket League to get to this point than Bladesmiths. And now I think it could be starting to show. It did in that first in that first best of 7. But now here, Duck, he seems to be like he's going into the reserves as he gets this around the defense, just narrowly off the post. And that could have really been one that sent them into the stratosphere, but it wasn't quite enough. And Venom do get to hold on for a little bit longer.
Venom holding on by the skin of their teeth by the looks of it. Duck, on the other hand of things, just being mentally good in defense, almost getting another save, but the line this time says no. Fires a shot off, 66 MPH. Brute forced his way past. Duck couldn't get up in time, but it's a 1 apiece now. 25 seconds off half time, and Venom has tied it up. Bladesmiths, they don't have that 2-goal cushion like they did in game number 1, and they're now going to have to fight once again. Are they going to be able to do it? I don't know, but Spartax looking to send it down the field. Duck is going to misread that, but Spartax finds the read, and it's a 2-1 lead for Venom. And just like that, Venom may have caught fire once again.
And this all started with Kairu. I thought he got the flip reset in the mid, and it was just miscommunicated. Satel wasn't quite aware of where that ball was going to end up. And as a result, 2 players were out of the play completely, sent to the sky. And Duck just cannot quite find the clairvoyance necessary to keep that ball away. Once again, Venom find the lead, and they almost extend it with a clanger of a shot to the bottom right. Spartax's shooting boots missing on that one. They have been for quite a bit through this series, but this one's gone back up the field, and Kairu takes it in his stride. Satao does really well to keep this away from Minty, but he didn't even nearly need to do anything. All he did was read the ball through the corner. We've seen that a few times from Minty, in fact, in this series, where, well, not this series specifically, but in this whole grand final, where he kind of just throws the ball away, maybe trying to play it a little too soon or a little too fast. And it allows Bladesmiths to read the passing lanes, get the touch away, and they almost always have a second man ready to follow up. And this second game narrowed the margin very much so, Venom, and I think they didn't quite expect Bladesmiths to come out firing like this, but they certainly have. Takes the brace from Kairu, again assisted by Satao, and they're just playing much better. They're playing much better Rocket League.
Yeah, they're playing better. I mean, they've up their level. I mean, that's to say the least. But from like a groundwork point of view, they're just doing all the basics right, and then worrying about things afterwards. And you know, when you're at this caliber, the basics do come to a point of second nature. And when that starts flowing, it becomes very difficult to break a team's mentality and break a team down any further. This Venom also have looked very good. Bladesmiths just looking slightly different and slightly ahead now. We've seen the highest of caliber of Rocket League in this elite tier so far. A great setup from Sato. Kairu can't slot that in. Deline was making it difficult, but Duck shot also going to go wide. Deline now just taking his time. Awkwardly though in front of net. And subsequently, it is going to be in a dangerous sort of scenario, but Minty does such an exponentially good job. Plays around all three players. The ball now going to bounce in front of the net, but Duck is going to be able to get back in just a nick of time. Sato there to force the challenge onto Minty, giving Kairu a lot more space here to work with. Duck and Kairu both working together to send it into that corner. I don't think Duck necessarily needed to be there, but he wanted a piece of the action. But now it is Venom's turn to put the pressure on as they get control of that midfield, but it's broken down very quickly by the side of Bladesmiths. A minute left, a 1-goal lead for Bladesmiths. Can they hold on to it? Venom have scored late goals before, countless numbers of times now in this playoffs. It really is coming down to the wire.
Yeah, Bladesmiths have really needed to flip the script, change the record, and their chemistry, commitment, understanding between one another has really struck another gear. It could be Kairu to get the second go-ahead goal, but it's not going to be enough. It's just about stopped on the line. Chance for Mindy to break out is sent to Spartax. Wins the 50 into a Rule 2, a temporary 2v2 for this last 30 seconds. This could be crucial for Venom. This could be the chance that they need, but that means that so much time is wasted with possession. That's all Bladesmiths need to do. Delay, but they're going to have to play such patient defense. They managed to keep it in that corner. 10 seconds left. Minty with control of the ball. Has hold the line on the sideline. Kairu drops it down. Does recover in time, keeps ball in possession as well, but it's to the backboard. Hold on, looking for the double tap, drops it down to Minty. It's again. No! He got in the way of the shot. That would have been the equalizer. Oh my goodness! That was the worst case scenario for Venom. They did everything right, but Hold the Line holds the wrong line this time and makes sure Bladesmiths can get the second game in a row. That could have so easily mechanics, to be very honest.
Hey, you're in that master tier for a reason.
I don't have advanced mechanics, you know. I don't go for double taps. I don't go for resets. I do when I can the space, but mostly I like to be good at the fundamentals, good at the mental game, and good at the simple stuff. Get really good at that, and you can kind of make your way. But Spartax seems to be good at pretty much everything. I think he would be quite a decent player in the master tier if he upped his efficacy. But he seems to be doing that all in one fell swoop in this grand final. They've started out this game 3 exactly how they wanted. A kickoff goal is one that really can hurt the psyche for the sake of Bladesmiths. So I think they've got that bounce back ability they clearly have between the series. Oh my goodness, Duck almost played off the double tap. I know, such a speeder, and it almost got past the defense. Not quite enough, but they're still on the pressure. Sato with an amazing dunk. It's not going to be enough from Hold the Line. Or Spartax, in fact, I think that was. Sato does eventually get one through. 30 seconds. Again, an equal game. It was Hold the Line that just couldn't quite get it. The backboard, the crossbar and out even. But this one's just going as fast as it was in the last 2 games and in the whole of the last 4 in the first best of 7.
What a start. The goal of plays back to neutral. And two very different goals, you have to say, but two very beautiful looking goals. Back immediately with a slot of his own. He wants to keep this lead, and he really is being, you know, a true MVP. I really think he probably has got that MVP title if they're able to close this out. Yeah. But they are 2 games down in this second best of 7, so a lot of work still to do here. But I think they've definitely got it in their locker in doing so. But right now, Bladesmiths, whatever changes they made during that break, has played absolute dividends. They are at a deficit now, but it's still 4 minutes on the clock to go. So a lot of time, a lot of Rocket League still left to play. 4 minutes is pretty much an eternity in Rocket League time. Duck though, 0 boost. He's having to play it back all the way to his own corner just to recuperate. He's going to take it to an area of his own. Doesn't have the control. Almost taken away by Hold the Line. Fortunately, Kairu was there to stop that goal from going in. Could be devastated, but Minty gets a nice catch. Sato's like, no, I'm going to bully you. Cause a few bonfires on the pitch. Means Kairu takes it to the ground, walks full into the 50-50, the 1-2 pass there, and Kairu with the pre-flip to get the finish, ties the game to a piece.
And that was entirely necessary, wins the 50 out. I think the opponent actually jumped early, but what a pre-flip. Absolutely crucial for him to do that, to get it past the defender. Great play from Bladesmiths to bring it back, get that midfield possession and passing going. That kind of chemistry, I said it in the first 2 games, it was so important for the Spartaks with the fake under, gets the reset as well. And he's given that space, he will use it. Sato with a great save to stop him from getting onto a roll, building that momentum once again. It could be the 3rd, but it's wide. Cleared even further away by Minty. He does get back to this ball first too, but Duck with a big 50, lose it out. Spartaks had the angle, but not quite the touch he wanted. Hold the line to keep it alive. Sato gets it through the corner again, but they throw away possession early. They somehow get back to the ball, but Spartaks is just that extra second quicker. Duck with a pop to the mid, but Kairu was the 3rd man, so this could be dangerous if Hold the Line's going for another double tap, but not quite the boost that he needed. More midfield battle going on, but this one he was already in position. The cherry picker from Hold the Line. Spartaks not just a striker, but a playmaker as well.
What a play indeed. Spartaks able to cut that midfield down very quickly, and obviously the line, I think fortune favouring him landing in that position, set it up perfectly. 3-2 now for Venom. They've got a lead once more, and this Bladesmiths side not in the best of states, having to fight from behind, but they've been good so far. They've been solid so far in this second best of 7. The line though with that early shot, Minty's going to be there. He gets blocked out as he goes to the ceiling. Spartak shot a little bit wide. Not going to transpire or bear any sort of fruit as Kairu tries to play it around Minty, but Minty very quick into the air. Sato last alive. Whoa, a moment. Duck gets demoed. Duck gets the demo onto Spartak. The line though coming in for the challenge. Oh, Minty had the opportunity, but Kairu just getting to the touch in the nick of time. Also wins the 50-50 challenge as well, forcing the bump onto the line. Just being a disruptor right now, and this is exactly what Bladesmiths came into the second best of 7 to do. Sato with a great attempt, but Spartaks is there, ever present as he always is, to keep that shot out. Kairu now tries to keep the attack line, plays it to the corner. There's the side even as the line does find the clearance. Sato has to get a touch of his own, but again, Bladesmiths having to play from their own back foot, and it's exactly what they don't want to be doing.
No, they look to be free-flowing, playing through the mid rather than being penned into their own back line. It's happened quite a bit. Happened all throughout the first best of 7. They came alive in the first 2 games of this one and decided that was not how they wanted this to go down. That was not the script. And Kairu ripping it all up for Venom. This one just missed by Minty, a rare miss from him off the backboard, and Kairu pounces upon it immediately. Almost a femtosecond between him knowing that ball was missed and going straight for it, getting his bumper on it, into the back of the net. They regain the equal game. And with very little time left on the clock, you've got to say Sato's looking for something special, but it's straight up Minty. He wanted the double tap so desperately, and part of me wanted it for him. He's very rarely made those kinds of plays, but when he has, they've been so damn close. Even when he does get it on target, he's denied. Could have been the go-ahead goal. But again, we say this so many times, could that be the difference maker? Could that be the one save that makes Venom come alive? This could be a potential match point 3-0 for the Bladesmiths. But Venom desperately wanted to avoid that and avoid the overtime, as they've done so many times in this series. We shall have to see how it pans out. 40 seconds left.
40 seconds and ticking. Who has the ice now? Who's be able to close it out? Is Bladesmiths going to be able to take it themselves to a match point? The line is already up. Kairu jumps early for this. Sato decides to back out. A great second touch from Kairu. Duck shot was straight into the defense, but it gets a huge demo, and Sato plays it off the post and in, giving Bladesmiths the lead in the final 25 seconds. And this demo from Kairu was absolutely huge, and Sato slots it in. What a finish indeed, and what a demo from Kairu. Exactly well placed, and those are the stats you don't really get to see, but are so unbelievably pivotal.
And Sato was half blind off the shot. Oh my goodness, hold the line. Almost brought it back immediately, but this could be the fifth. This Kairu is there, but it's going to be Duck anyway. They get a 2-goal cushion, and this could guarantee a match point for them in a 3-game cushion even going forward. A great touch by Kairu. I thought it was actually Duck that finished that one off, but it just slides off the hood of Kairu. Hat-trick for him. 3 saves to his name as well. Absolutely blinding performance. And another 2-goal cushion. Make that one. No, it's not going to be enough for Spartax, and he stops dead in his tracks. He knows that was the one that could have been the difference. Could have gave them the chance. But it will be a reverse sweep situation for Venom to face down. They have never been here. And we've not seen a Venom side have to deal with this before in the playoffs. Such a tough road to go down. But they know they've got it in the locker. They won the first series 4-0, a clean sweep. They have the ability to win another 4 games. They can do it because they've done it before. They've just been saying to each other, you know, we can do this, lads. We've done it once before. We can beat Bladesmiths. We beat them in the first best of 7 in a clean sweep. They did it in such style, in such amazing fashion, that they need to look back to that. They need to not rest on their laurels, but fight again. Remember the greatness that they had and harness that. They need to do it not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times on the bounce. And with the way that Bladesmiths are playing, I don't see it happening, but Hold the Line's got something else to say as he takes that off the red goal line. It was a double commit from Bladesmiths, but it almost fell through. And I don't know if this timeout has helped. I think it's the first timeout that we've seen in the grand finals in all of the playoffs so far this season, and it may just be the most important one for Venom's sake. We'll have to see how they perform, but I have to give it to Bladesmiths. You called the fact that it would be a reset and that Bladesmiths would come back. You said you were sticking with it. I think I'm with you.
I think it's difficult to take it away from Bladesmiths at this moment, but if there is a team to do it, Venom is that team. Deline, though, have an opportunity taken away from him by Duck here. Spartax looking to open things up, plays it very high towards the backboard of the blue side. Sato now in that corner. You can see Duck just kind of chilling, waiting for that corner boost. Doesn't come out, but he does find it. But Deline with the ball in that midfield, plays it off the wall. Kairu's touch isn't the best. This Duck plays it towards Sato, who decided to pull out of the challenge. Eventually does come back for another bite onto Deline. Spartax sends the clearance forward. Eventually Duck is there, but both these teams, I think, a little bit concerned. They don't want to give anything yet, but as I'm talking, the Lion slots it straight in.
Where have we seen this before? The almost team pinch. Oh, it wasn't a team. Never mind. I thought it was. I thought someone was under Hold the Line. We saw that in Premier, but it was not quite the same here. From my perspective, it looked like someone was with Hold the Line, but it was just an amazing strike of its own right. Scorches that one into the crossbar, into the back of the net. They take the first lead, and that is huge. I was thinking this one was going to be a massive goal fest, but as you said, they're just a little bit skittish. They're not wanting to get too complacent, get too aggressive, because that's when you leave gaps, you leave space. And as maybe Venom were trying to take that time out to freeze Bladesmiths out and make them, lose their form, lose their run, and keep their momentum at bay. Right now it's looking like that way. Almost could be a 2-goal lead, but Duck is there to stop it. And only 2 shots for Bladesmiths so far. Something does seem to have changed.
It does really seem to have shifted. This side of Venom starting to play a little bit more calculated. But Kairu trying to do his best. Can't find that second double tap, but double places to the ceiling could be dangerous. Minty is there to mitigate it early on, but Kairu keeping that pressure on. Spartax trying to take the long route round, does play it over Sato. The Duck is there to keep the attack alive. A great 50-50 from him, looking to make another one. He provides an absolute blockade in front of the Venom half. Still, the side of Bladesmiths looking to press. They are at a goal deficit here. Just under 2 minutes left on the clock. They are yet to find a goal, and if Venom take this game, it is going to be an absolutely unprecedented comeback. They really are looking to completely shut down and completely come back into this game.
You wouldn't be able to write it. The play-ins run, they've made it all the way to the grand final. Got a clean sweep in the first best of 7. Almost getting swept out in the second. They could still, but they're on the road for the reverse sweep. They're starting to lay the foundation for it. It's a flimsy, fragile 1-goal lead, and Bladesmiths are always lurking, always looking to break that net, break the plane. You've seen it so many times from Duck, from Satao. Unbelievable mechanical prowess. Kairu as well has been getting hat-tricks left and right. The dunk from Satao, crossbar, Duck is there, but it's cut out by Spartax, just as we've seen him do so many times tonight. Such a consistent player on offense and defense. This one's not quite going to go through. Duck, 50 seconds left, throws this back to Minty, gets a beautiful double tap. Sato's there to keep it away from hold the line, but we've seen that quite a bit from Venom as well. Whenever it's the first man play, they're willing to follow the ball and keep it in their possession, get it past 1, maybe even 2 defenders, create that opportunity, make it so much easier for their team to finish them off. But as the 30-second mark hits, it's against Bladesmiths right now. It's in the wrong half of the field, and Venom look to make it too, but it's too high. Spartax, weak shot wide. Cairo has lots of time and space and a little bit of boost to get it across to Duck, already waiting. He opts to go for the air drill, may go for the air bump as well, but somehow Hold the Line gets back to it, still in possession. It's up and over! Duck with the late equalizer once again. 11 seconds left to go, and this could be Bladesmiths' game to win.
The amount of late equalizers that we've had throughout this evening is absolutely obscene, and that one could be the most pivotal of them all. Right now on the cusp of an overtime of this game, number 4. Unless Spartax can have a bit of magic. Sato gets in the way, and there's a player there. It's off the crossbar. Does not drop in, and somehow it's been kept out by the Bladesmiths. And that was Venom's opportunity to close it out in regulation. It's still up, but Cairo eventually is able to slot it down, and we still are not having a decider. And overtime is here. Who's it going to be? Which player is it going to be? Whether it's going to be on the side of Bladesmiths to cry themselves champions, or is
Cairo! Oh my goodness!
Minty read that? How has Minty read that?
This is so tense. I don't even know what to do anymore. Just a feeling that Venom must be having right now. Just sit back, always keep someone on the back line. This has popped up high from Hold the Line. Duck is just about there to keep it out, but the pressure's on. Hold the Line again with the shot, and it's in the back of the net! They get one back up. They're on the road to the reverse sweep.
The Spartax to Line combo has just been so incredibly successful this evening. They do not stop. They pair up so often. They find each other in the most darkest of alleys. And they finally clinch one back against this Bladesmiths side. Is this the beginning of absolute history?
This is where it begins. 1 down, 3 to go. It's the beginning of the end, Hop. Could this be
2 weeks ago? And now we're here. We didn't think it could get any better, but it just does. And Spartax with the early shot off the kickoff, taken away by Sato. Spartax keeping the ball up. Minty is going to be there. Plays towards the bad ball to Line. Can he finish it? His shot is light and wide. Subsequently, the early onslaught going to be quelled by this Bladesmiths roster. But Spartax angry again, but Duck with another insane goal line save.
And he's going to go back up the field as well to try and finish it off. Kairu's there for the angle, not quite enough, but Sato will follow, and another rapid counter is taken by the Bladesmiths. It all came from Duck himself. A great save to start it out, dribbles alone through the midfield, flicks it over 2, and then all it takes is for to fall to Sata right in front of the net, takes that early lead, and it's so important for them. I just wonder if Venom have got that bounce back ability now. They've done it once. Can they do it again? They're not used to being down. Arguably, from what we've seen of them, they don't like being in the back, on the back burner, you know, behind, being the second best. We've seen a few comebacks from them that they're clearly not comfortable when they're in that position. They want to be outscoring their opponents constantly, especially Spartax, but almost Minty as Cairo takes it off the line again. They've all had to defend Bladesmiths. They're all going to have to put in the performance of their lives to keep out of Venom with renewed hope. They are rejuvenated, they are on the prowl, and they're ready to take this grand final by the scruff of the neck, it feels like.
It does feel exactly like that. Bladesmiths, they're poised and set to potentially be taking this with a lot of time left to play. Cairo does keep it in that red half and keep it alive. Duck's going to be there towards the bad ball, looking for a teammate. Sato with the shot, and it's going to be in. He rocket punches that all the way through. He's left the dent in the back of the net, you have to say it. At the end of the day, a 2-goal lead. Bladesmiths, they're on the cusp of doing it. Venom,
it feels like every goal is one double.
Yeah, exactly. Every goal just pries said blade deeper into the wound that Venom has found themselves with, but can they bandage it up? 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock to do so. Can they do it? That's the big question. That's the question everybody wants to know. Deline looking to try and open it up early here, but not able to do so. We've spoken about it so many times. A 2-goal lead is so much more comfortable than a 1 goal. It's obvious that's down. In the gameplay, it means a whole world of a difference.
Without a doubt. And I think Venom would hope against hope. They give anything to get the goals. They've been such prolific goal scorers throughout these playoffs and throughout the first series especially. Unnecessary goals, you know, when they're like 3-4 up. They'd be dying to get those goals right now when it matters most, and it could be a third if Cairo can get to the other side of this, but he plays the disruption, plays the blocker, gets underneath the defender, cannot find any traction, and Sata with that hat trick to almost seal the grand final for the Bladesmiths. We've seen comebacks before, Hop, but this is a new level. This is a new task. This is an entirely different set of dice for Venom to roll, and I really don't think the odds favour them.
Oh, I don't think this is going to be Venom's game. And it's unfortunate that it comes at this time, but it would be an absolute miracle run if they're able to lock this out. The line is in the air. He's going to stay with it for a while. Does slot it in. Life still flowing through the Venom veins in this moment, but is it too little too late? That's the big question.
50s. 2 massive 50s. It's huge.
He's massive.
Okay, you just think of it now. Bladesmiths, they got 3 goals in half a game. Venom can do the exact same. It was scrappy as all hell to get it through the first time, but they got it through. They don't care how they get the goals, just that they get them. But Bladesmiths constantly in their face, playing that philosophy that we knew they needed to beat Venom. They've seriously doubled down on it. But another one here for Spartax is going to be on target. 2 goals in quick succession. 2 minutes is plenty of time for Venom to find an equalizer. They've done it time and time again, and it could be happening again, Hop. Bladesmiths need to hold on for their dear lives.
I really do. It's come down to hair fractions here. Venom, they're a goal behind now. And just a moment ago it was 3, but Cairo's looking to make it a second. It's taken away the last second there. Spartak's able to cut it out in the midfield to mitigate the follow-up shot from coming out. He's able to win the other 50-50 battle in the midfield again. Bit of miscommunication between Minty and Deline is going to be a bit awkward as Minty tries to challenge in that midfield. Deline goes early pre-jumps yesterday for that ball. Spartak gets the catch. He flicks it really high. Push to the backboard, but Minty's going to be there.
Double save!
Gets the double save to keep his team in the lead. When his team needs him most. Oh,
no! You cannot be doing that in a grand final. Last game Oh no, hold the line. The pain he must be feeling right now.
Pain of the week. Pain of the week.
They fought so hard to get back into this, and then that is how they lose the 1-goal opportunity for that equalizer. They lost it in the last game. Oh my goodness, Spartax keeps it close still. Minty all the way back up the field. He will get one back. And once again, it's a 1-goal game, but they've only got a minute this time. Much, much different to 2 minutes. But they just keep going forward and making different mistakes every single time to lead Bladesmiths into a favourable position. It's not as though Bladesmiths are doing everything in their power to break Venom down. They just seem to be panicking. And to be completely honest, I cannot blame them whatsoever.
I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous, but I mean, the face value of it, that could have been the equalizer right there. If it wasn't for that error, the line could well have a few nightmares tonight if they aren't able to find something back, but the nerves setting in massively. Looking for Minty and Spartax to kind of lift him back up. Kairu's going to send it right down towards the red backboard. The line is going to be there to meet it. Can't follow up with a second touch, but Spartax eventually finds the clearance. The line finds a huge demo on the back line.
The demo. The pass. No! How does it keep happening? No, 26 seconds. He puts it back into the mid. Satow's there to clear it out, but it's still floating. Hold the line, puts it back mid, but it's on target for Satow. Spartax pops it up high, he's got a lot of space. Minty could just go for the demo, but he's got no boost to get back to it. Hold the line, must get this touch, he doesn't. Back to the wall, Satow's there, 1-goal lead, he's just going to leave it. 20 boosts for Minty is not enough, he does get the touch, it's dropped down for Spartax, but he whiffs the ball, and it's going to be the Bladesmiths to take it at the death. A 1-goal game, a 4-1 series, and the Bladesmiths become the anti-Venom to Venom's side. Oh my goodness. Their first ever win. They couldn't quite do it last season, but they do this time. They deny the three-peat, and they destroy the dreams of Minty, Spartax, and hold the line. What a series!
I mean, what?
Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a text, said they're proud of me. Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a track, now they proud of me. Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a text, say they're proud of me. Woke up to a text, say they're proud of me. Say they're proud of me. To the prom night, high school, I might get it. I can't leave till